I just want to congratulate you on your experience on The Biggest Loser.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, can you tell us, what do you feel your experience being on The Biggest Loser has taught you?
Okay. Whitney is going first. And my experience on The Biggest Loser has taught me that it's okay to step out of your comfort zone. And good things happen outside of your comfort zone. So that's one of the biggest things that The Biggest Loser has taught me.
Okay. This is Hope. I guess, my thing about The Biggest Loser is just learning to, love myself and understand that, regardless if my husband loves me, if I don't love myself enough to want to change, then, there's lots of things that happen, that you have no control of. But, it's just the concept of, just experiencing, trusting the process of putting it into someone else's hands, not having that control. I'm very much a control freak, and making it into giving it over to Jen and saying, here it is, and then now tell me what to do with it. I think that was my biggest thing, was just being able to, release some of that control to someone else.
Remarkable, and your experience on The Biggest Loser was definitely inspiring to all viewers, so congratulations on that. And if you could bring out some advice to viewers and people in general who want to live a healthier lifestyle, what would you like to say?
The advice that I would give anyone that was trying to live a healthier lifestyle is, I would say, one step at a time. You don't want it to be overwhelming. And even during the show, granted, it was a little faster than, it happens in a real world situation, we still were taught things in steps. We had a nutritionist that would teach us things in steps. We had a trainer that would teach us things in steps. And I think in a real world scenario, you need to take things one step at a time. And as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, don't get frustrated. Just keep moving forward.
And my advice is everybody's thing is, I'm going to start Monday. Well, starting Monday doesn't help a lot of people, because you always put that, I'm just going to start Monday. I'm just going to start Monday. I was the same way for years. I'd be like, it's first of the year, I'm going to start the yo-yo diet, and I'm going to stick with it. Well, honestly, it got to the point where I never would do it. It was more I'll just start, I'll start next week, we'll start next week or whatever. But it got to the point where, looking back now, my health is better than it has been in years. I'm off my medication, everything looks amazing. And it's why didn't I decide to do this 10 years ago? Or why didn't I stay healthy after I got out of college? It's just looking back, you have that 2020 vision, and you always think, I'm going to start Monday. Well, a lot of people always start like that, but it's my biggest thing is, around our house now, we say 21 days. 21 days creates a habit. 21 days. So if I can do something for 21 days, it's going to create a habit. It's going to create a getting up at 4:30 every morning and being at the gym by 5. And so, with me, with us, it's just been, creating that habit of making sure, eating-wise, I'm eating better. I'm not eating junk food. I rarely eat out. It's just a lot of different things that you take into concept, and, the ranch taught me all of that. Dr. Cheryl, we have her on speed dial. Hey, I really want to, I want to try to make this, but how do I make it, healthier? And I know everybody doesn't have that, but a lot of people have resources around them. They just may not be able to use them, or they don't know how to use them, and people won't ask for help. And I think for us, getting casted on The Biggest Loser was us asking for help. And a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people don't think, I have to ask for help. Hey, I'm the world's worst sometimes. But, looking back, I'm glad I asked for help. I'm glad I reached out and was like, hey, listen, I need to get a handle on my health. I need to get a handle on, my weight and everything else. And so, now looking back, it's just I'm so excited about, everything that's happened, but also, like, I'm looking, in 10 years, having a kid and having a family and all this kind of stuff. It's not just about tomorrow or it's not just about February. This is a lifestyle change. This is for the rest of my life. Even, I don't have kids yet, and it's, like, funny because I cringe at people who are at food places and they're ordering their children junk food, and I'm like, oh, man. And then my mom laughs at me because she's like, you're going to be the mom that, like, has it all down pat. Okay, so what do you eat? I have a paleo diet. My kid's on paleo. That's just how, that's really how I feel. I really, for us, it's not just about a couple of months. This is, this is for the rest of my life. That's how I've had to embrace it.
Excellent. Well, again, your experience on The Biggest Loser was truly so inspiring to all viewers. Thank you both so very much for your time.
I think the biggest challenge for me was definitely, in the beginning, it was the nutrition side of things. I was like, oh, well, I can just have a little bit of this, or I can just have a little bit of that, and not realizing some of the things we learned at the ranch. Some of these things can be trigger foods. So if I just have a little bite of something bad, right now I'm not in the maintenance phase of my weight loss. So that could definitely make me snowball, and, it can make anyone snowball. And I had to realize that the hard way, unfortunately. But, I got it together, and, we have a big support system with the show. So, I've talked to people. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I made a bad food choice, and it's kind of led into a bad week. And then I pulled it together, and now I know, you can't have cake yet. You're not there yet. When you get there, then you can have a piece of cake. But right now, you're not there. And more recently, I would say finding the time for exercise is a little more difficult. With me working, I work 10-hour days, so I'm like, all right, I have to go in the morning and I have to go in the evening, but in between that, I have a 10-hour work day. But I'm worth it. It's an hour. It's an hour or two that I'll have to go in the morning. And if I miss the hour, then I just add the hour at the end of the day. It's not the end of the world. And, the day I still have a few hours. If I want to unwind, I still have a few hours left in the evening to do dinner, and most of the time I meal prep, so that's done. It's about time management, too. That's probably one of a bigger thing that I have learned since being home is time management when it comes to meal prep, when it comes to exercise, when it comes to all of those things. It's definitely been a huge factor in success.
I guess, like, my biggest thing coming home was not having Colby. We don't do a lot of things apart, and it was hard. I have an amazing support system behind me. My mom, my sisters, my brothers, everybody. Our church was, like, amazing. But it got to a point where probably about 2 weeks in, when I was at home, like, I was sitting on the bike at working out, and I thought, I can't do this for Colby, and I can't do this for my mom, and I can't do this for my sisters. Like, I actually have to do this for Hope. And so, like, really, like, understanding at that point that I have to do this for myself and for no one else, like, it was like turning a leaf for me. Like, I had a whole new mindset about it. As soon as that happened, like, I was at the gym at 5 o'clock. I had workouts from 5:30. I was there till, like, lunch. I'd eat lunch, go back. And so, like, to me, it was just, like, understanding that, like, I was worth, like, making this sacrifice for. Like, it was kind of hard looking at it. But now I'm like, I am worth it. I am worth the sacrifice that I'm making. For quite some time, diet was hard because nutrition here in the South, from where we're at, we eat with everything. You go to a birthday party, you eat. You go to church, you eat. You go, everybody, that's all they want to do is go out to dinner. And so I think, like, with me, it was just like telling people, I don't eat out. and I don't eat out. I don't need that struggle. Another struggle for me was, Thursday nights are a big night at our house. I mean, there's like 15 of us eating supper together, and it was always, hey, let's go to Dairy Queen after we eat. And, like, it never bothered me, but then all of a sudden, like, it was like, I was home a couple of weeks, and it was like, hey, let's go to Dairy Queen, and I was like, no. Like, I mean, it wasn't even a second thought to me. And that's when my sister said, my younger sister, she's like, all right, we're going to give up our DQ dates on Thursday. She's like, because we have to get, and it was just that whole mindset of, I had everyone in my family behind me to say, hey, it's not just you doing this, we're all going to do it together. I mean, I didn't go back to work. I was lucky enough and thankful enough that I didn't have to go back to work. Because, I mean, if I would have went back to work, I would have had the same struggle with Whitney. How do I time it just right? Or, what time do I have to be at the gym? And, I mean, it's just, and it's been, time management is definitely a thing. But, like, I mean, just like she said, though, I mean, Sundays, you're sitting down. I'm planning, okay, Monday lunch, Tuesday lunch. I mean, what days am I going to be home in enough time to cook food, or do I just need to go ahead? And it's gotten more here lately. It's like, it's just easier for me just to meal prep all at one time, and then, hey, it's done for the weekend. I don't have to worry about it. I mean, grab and go is what, I mean, that's been kind of our, that's been my system here for the last, little bit. But, I mean, I think, it's just understanding that I needed to change, not for just, Colby, or for family, or for friends. Like, I needed to change for Hope, and I think that was a big thing for me, is like making up my mind to do it for myself. That was definitely an adjustment.